What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tony D2 Wild checking in once again. Tony Digital bringing back another 1440p visual, back with another banger today, guys. Now, shout out to Most Amazing Top 10, man. Gonna give them a subscribe. I was thinking about doing something around stories, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to find some scary stories, and I actually found another video I wanted to check out as well. Something a little bit different, maybe off topic, maybe you guys don't like it or not, but we'll figure it out. I want to hear about it though. 10 creepy Chinese bedtime stories. Chinese and creepy. You know what I'm saying? That just creepy's already scary. We got scary. You know, Freddy Krueger came from a bedtime story from Asia. I think it was China, maybe China or Japan, but Freddy Krueger, that story actually originated from a myth or a story of kids, people dying in their sleep. So I want to hear it, man. Straight up, let's just go straight into it.
From ghosts to serial killers to creatures you only hope are fake.
Yeah.
Everyone remembers hearing a story as a kid that made them too afraid to sleep at night.
On today's Most Amazing Top 10 list, we are taking a look at some of the creepiest Chinese bedtime stories we could find.
Starting off this list, in our number 10 spot, we have the single braid story. The road that runs along the campus of the Chinese University of Hong Kong is referred to as Single Braid Road, and this is the story that gave it that name. On a cold night, a girl with a long braid in her hair went to great lengths in order to sneak into Hong Kong from the mainland with her boyfriend. They boarded a train to head into the city when they saw police on the train checking people's identification. Because she wasn't supposed to be there and had snuck in, she decided the only thing to do would be to try and jump off of the moving train. In a gruesome turn of
The fuck? Is it that serious, bro? Is it that serious, my lady?
events, her braid ended up getting stuck in the window and ripped off all of the skin from her scalp and face. The girl stumbled onto the road where she collapsed and died. Throughout all of this, her boyfriend continued on the train, went into the city, got a new job, and pretended like the girl never existed. Flash forward to another night when a male student
My nigga goddamn moved on. Damn, so she tried to jump out, her hair got caught. I mean, I would think if my dread, like I would think my dreads would hold at least my body. I don't think my fucking face would have ripped off of that though. It don't even sound right. She was just hanging out the window. Like I can understand if her shit got caught. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. Something don't sound right. I guess maybe if she had got her hair stuck, jumped out the window, landed on the ground when her hair is so long that it pulled her back and she's just getting dragged by the window. But god damn.
is walking alone on Single Braid Road when he sees a girl standing in the distance. He calls out to her, but she doesn't respond, so he begins to approach her and can see that she has a long braid in her hair. When he reaches her, he taps her on the shoulder, and when she turns around, he sees that she has no face.
Oh, hell no.
Then she just disappears. They say that the ghost has appeared many times since then, but only male students can hear her. I just want it to be known that if I was in her place and a boy did that to me, I would absolutely come back to haunt him and all men for the rest of eternity.
Moving on.
The only thing I got to say about that, bro, is that, okay, what could he have done? Told him to stop, I guess? I don't know. But god damn. That was number 10? Whole fucking face ripped off?
At number 9, we have Room 111. And if you're liking this video so far, then make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel because, you know what, it really helps us out, so thank you very much. Now, much like most of these stories, this one has evolved over time, so there are 2 versions of the story. The one I'm about to tell you surrounds a very intelligent science undergraduate who thought he discovered how to master time travel. So one night in room 111 of Grace Tian Hall, he wrapped himself up in a mechanism he had created. It was a bunch of wires attached to an alarm clock and a big battery. When the clock's alarm went off, he believed he was going to be able to travel in time. But the experiment went terribly wrong, as you could have imagined, and he ended up being electrocuted to death. His roommate found him laying in bed with a note beside him reading, "I will come back soon." Upon this discovery, the roommate went mad and had to be taken to a mental asylum. And now, no one ever dares to stay in room 111 for the events that happen there.
In our number 8 spot,
Okay. They said creepy bedtime stories. Is this a real story? Like, the fuck? I thought that nigga was gonna meet that man. He said I'm gonna come back. That nigga is gone.
Today we have the story of the hanged ghost. While ghosts are extremely common in Chinese folklore, these ghosts are pretty specific. A hanged ghost is a spirit of someone who is hanged, whether it be from committing suicide or execution, and they haunt the location where they died. While most ghosts are already pretty creepy, the hanged ghosts have quite an appearance. They're said to appear as a corpse with a long red tongue that hangs out of their mouth. The goal of these ghosts is to try and convince anyone they come across to join them in the afterlife.
Making our way down the list, number 7, we have the...
Bro, these niggas, this shit is, I'm not gonna lie, that music and these are pretty creep. I hope you're not watching this at nighttime. Y'all might want to stop now.
Painted skin. This story has to do with a demon that hides its true gruesome appearance by transforming into other people. So one day this man named Wang runs into this beautiful woman on the street that claims to be homeless. He takes her home and hides her in his house from his wife. And he has an affair with this mystery homeless woman. Well, eventually a priest warns him that there's evil in his house, but he ignores it until one day
that nigga fucked some weird bitch and they said it's evil. And he said, I'm keeping that pussy in this bitch. Fuck you mean?
He looks into his window and sees the woman is actually a green-faced monster with sharp, jagged teeth. She had been wearing a mask made out of human skin.
Wow.
The story basically ends with the guy getting his heart ripped out by the demon, and then the demon transforms into different people to hide his identity. In the climax, the demon shows its true self, and the priest beheads it with his wooden sword. And then Wang's wife just coughs up his heart and puts it back into Wang's chest, and then he's brought back to life. Crazy, I know. Also, what kind of a bed...
Wait, so Wang was cheating on... I didn't even peep that. So Wang had a wife, he was fucking another bitch, and she still brought the nigga back to life? Damn, she must really love him.
Time story is this?
Yeah, exactly.
Coming in at number 6, we have the Little Finger story. There was a male university student who often found himself studying in the library late after it had closed. After his study session, he would walk past a park on his way back to his dorm, and he always saw a small little girl sitting on a swing in the park. One day he decided to go and speak to the little girl and check on her. From that night on, every time he passed the park and saw her there, he would stop in and chat with her before returning home. One day he was telling his friends about this little girl, and they asked what she looked like. He described the girl, and his friends told him that she sounded like she looked exactly like a teacher's daughter who had tragically died in a car accident, but that daughter had lost her little finger. The next night, when the man went to go and see the little girl in the park, he couldn't help but ask to see her hands, just to check. She was very reluctant, but he insisted. And when she finally revealed her hands, he saw that she was in fact missing her little finger. Of course this freaked him out, so he ran away in fear. From then on, he never saw the little girl again.
We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with the Mongolian death.
Bro, these are creepy. I'm not gonna lie to you. These are fucking creepy. No cap. And I'm releasing this video tonight at like 9-10 o'clock for y'all.
Worm. The Mongolian death worm is a famous cryptid in China. It's
The
said to lurk
fuck?
in the Gobi Desert and is described as being this giant red type worm creature. It's said to be between 2 to 5 feet long and is as
God
thick
damn.
as a man's arm. But the creature can grow even bigger than that. As a result of its appearance, it's sometimes called the intestine worm. On top of it all, it can also spray venom at its victims from a far distance.
That nigga got eyes, like normal eyes and some creepy stuff, man. The fuck?
Its acid-like venom is so strong that it can kill a camel or horse. Now, many believe this creature is said to be true and have even gone to the desert in search of it. So far, it has come of nothing, and let's keep it that way.
Moving on down to number 4, today we have the oxtail.
Oh, come on, bro. I just made oxtail, man. I just made oxtail yesterday. It's in my freezer. Why? Fuck.
Soup story. There was a young couple who were in medical school together. They lived in the same dorm, but on different floors. And there was a really strict study curfew that left them little to no time to see each other. It's also worth mentioning that this story comes from a time when there were no cell phones, so they couldn't just slide into each other's DMs or have a quick FaceTime in order to catch up. Every night, the girl would make oxtail soup, and because her boyfriend lived directly below her, she would send a cup of soup down from her window. They both loved this little tradition that they had set up.
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never had no oxtail soup though. I mean, I make oxtail minutes in a stew, like, you know, the brown stew, like Jamaican style. That shit look kind of good though. Fucking like, okay, so these are Chinese people. Okay, so Chinese make oxtail soup. I might need to check that out. That look kind of good though, but they finna fuck it up.
And it made them feel close even when they couldn't speak or see each other. One night, the boy received his soup, ate it, and then fell asleep studying. The next day, he had time to go up and see his girlfriend, so he headed to her floor, but he couldn't find her. He ended up asking around and came to find that his girlfriend had actually died a few days before due to a sudden illness. He was, of course, suddenly overwhelmed with grief and the terrible news, but then it quickly hit him. If his girlfriend had died a few days ago, who had given him the soup the night before?
And at number 3, we have the...
Oh my, hold on, bruh. Okay, we know that's a cap story. Ain't no way in hell I got a girl, you know what I'm saying, before cell phones. I mean, bruh, like, we can't see each other in the hallway or we in school. Like, there's some way, bruh. You feel me? Like, we're friends, whatever. Like, there's something, bruh. Hey, you said this was before cell phones, but it ain't before goddamn AIM, you know what I'm saying? Or AOL Instant Message or something. Ain't no way in hell a motherfucker gonna die and then be like, oh yeah, she died 3 days ago. Like, bro, there would have been crazy shit going on in the hallways. That's a cap story, man. What the fuck, though? Who was making that soup? I want to know.
The hopping corpse. The Jiangshi, otherwise known as the Chinese zombie or the Chinese hopping vampire or the hopping zombie, is a pretty well-known creature of Chinese folklore. This creature's name translates to rigid bodies or stiff corpse, and it's said to be corpses that have come back to life to kill the living. They are described as having greenish, rotting flesh and move by hopping. You'll know when one's coming if you hear thump, thump, thump. That's the sound of the monster.
That nigga like he
You'll know when
Sensei motherfucker Karate Kid right there.
Coming if you hear
he like he about to kick the fuck out of somebody.
Thump, thump, thump. That's the sound of the monster hopping to get you,
and I'm
to
gonna go
suck the soul out of you like a
bump.
vampire. In order to scare off these creatures, you need to use mirrors because they are scared of their own reflections, and also they don't like the brightness of mirrors. For some reason, a hopping zombie is way scarier to me than one that lives.
Yeah, I ain't gonna
slow.
lie. I was just thinking about right now. If that motherfucking hopping zombie's face just came off in the side of this goddamn green screen, nigga, I am about to shit myself. Them pictures of them niggas with the long neck, they look like Master Sensei. Goddamn zombie.
I don't know what it is about it.
In our number 2 spot today, we have the Lotus Pond story. This story starts off with a young couple who were so in love that they planned to run away together and elope. They made a plan to meet at midnight at the Lotus Pond, and from there they would leave and go start their lives together. When the girl showed up at midnight, she waited for so long, but the boy never showed up. She left the pond and went back into town when she spotted her boyfriend with another woman. She was so heartbroken and upset that she began crying and could not stop. She was so distraught that she went back to the Lotus Pond where they had planned to meet and drowned herself. Months later, another couple had planned to meet at the Lotus Pond. The boy got to the pond early and was waiting for his girlfriend to arrive when he heard a female voice say, "I asked you to meet me at midnight, didn't I?" The boy was really confused because this wasn't the meeting time that him and his partner had discussed, and he responded, "No." All of a sudden, 2 pale white hands reached out of the water and dragged him under the pond, drowning him. Ever since then, it is said that if you are at the Lotus Pond at midnight and you encounter a girl or hear her voice, do not answer her questions or even look at her, or she will get you too.
That reminds me a lot. That story must be the original story that inspired the manor at the new haunted Hill House story. The Haunting of Bly Manor. That's, if you watch that on Netflix, if you haven't, you need to check it out. It's definitely dope. It's the Haunting of Hill House, the same people who made the Haunting of Hill House. They made The Haunting of Bly Manor. It's on Netflix, real good. But they definitely took that story from that because, well, not this story. The Haunting of Bly Manor took the story of this. This is more than likely old folklore or some shit.
And in our number 1 spot, we have Bus 375. On midnight of November 14th, 1995, Bus 375, the last bus of the night, pulled into Summer Palace's bus terminal. It was known as the Midnight Bus, or the bus to Fragrant Hills, because that's where the bus was headed. But on this night, the bus disappeared under mysterious circumstances. At the bus terminal, 2 passengers got on, an old man and a young man. While headed to the last stop, the bus driver spotted 3 shadows waving at the side of the road. The bus driver stopped and it was 3 men, and he let
Bro, what the fuck?
them on. But something wasn't right about them, and you couldn't see any of their faces. Shortly after the 3 people got on, the old man picked a fight with the young man, claiming he stole his wallet. The argument got so bad that they got kicked off of the bus. When they got off and the bus zoomed away, the old man was no longer angry, and he told the young man that he had just saved their lives. The 3 passengers that got on were ghosts. He noticed that they didn't have any feet and that they were floating. The next day, the 2 learned that Bus 375 vanished, only to be found 3 days later at the bottom of a lake. Inside the bus, there were 3 decomposed corpses. Now, some believe that this is a true story, and to this day, it remains an unsolved mystery. And that's all for today's video. Let us know in the comments below which creepy story you thought was the creepiest. Honestly, that hopping zombie one, not a fan. No. And make sure you stick around because we'll have lots of bloopers coming your way. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan.
I've been Olivia Kozlovsky.
I'll see you when I see you.
Bruh. It's real, bruh. Fuck. Bus 375 is a Chinese urban legend about a bus in Beijing that depended on one cold November night, supposed to be based on a true story. This is known as the Midnight Bus. The story happened in 1914, 1995. Bruh. Now shit getting real, man. Shit getting real. Fuck all that. Hey, man. If you like this video, leave a like, comment down below. If you're scared, let me know. I'm scared with you, man. I love you, man. If you want to see more of these, let's get it popping. The fuck?